Using meta ads to bulletproof your D2C brand for a future 5 to 10x exit multiple. And here's a direct link. I'll link this in the comments below with this exact document. You can check out my 30-page free protocol to build a house, the exact steps necessary so that you can stop getting burned by ad agencies, you can stop paying 6 to 10K a month retainers, and ultimately you can take control of your marketing, right? The biggest bottleneck I see from D2C founders that hop on calls with me every single week is, oh, we've gotten burned by X amount of ad agencies, we need help, right? Who am I? Why should you listen to me? Well, this is from one of our portfolio brands this month. Q1 is probably the slowest time of the year for e-commerce. We're already at 322K total revenue, and then half of that's net profit. We're spending, like we had 39K in total ad spend. So we're spending roughly around like 1 to 1.5K a day in ad spend just from this one portfolio. Now, granted, you can scale to multiple 6 figures a month, to even multiple high 5 figures a month with just one single access channel. And the reason why I can say this is because I've tested numerous channels in the past, right? I've done Facebook, I've done Google, I've done TikTok, and a decent amount of YouTube ads as well. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but Zuckerberg has the chokehold on the whole entire industry. Nothing can outcompete with Meta. Meta is just the far superior platform because they have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have so many data points, and as a byproduct, even with WhatsApp, they're basically controlling who's going to see what, and they have the algorithm to do that, right? If I compare that to Google owns just Google, it's an SEO search engine, and then you have YouTube as well. But the amount of people, I believe the user split is majority are on Instagram, Facebook, and then YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the correct split. But we're seeing an emergence of platforms like TikTok that are coming in on the back end. But the demographic and the sophistication level on TikTok is just, it's not there, right? This is like Gen Z and millennial. Those are your archetypes. Whereas with Meta, if you have a product, your demographics 25 to 55, you can acquire CPMs very, very cheaply. Meta is going to offer that to you if your product has product market fit. Now, let's talk about scaling across one single access channel. Now, every brand suffers from high to low CPMs based on value proposition within the market. Less saturated products comes with untapped angles, which as a byproduct is going to equal cheaper CPMs. Higher saturated products with overexposed angles is going to equal higher CPMs. Now, there's more to this equation of what equals a CPM on Facebook. It's also like relevancy, engagement, and then whatever that quality score is on the back end of does your product deliver good results, and then what are the customer reviews from that, and as a byproduct, it's going to equate to the total equation of CPMs. I mean, this is on their Facebook website. I can drop a link in this doc as well with what actually measures CPM. But as a byproduct, I mean, there are ways to manipulate CPMs from an ad perspective, right? You can go fully broad, which is going to, as a byproduct, equal lower CPMs versus interest-based targeting. When you're running interest-based targeting, you're going to raise your overall CPMs because you're trying to hit a specific demographic, and that demographic is going to cost more money. Specific ad placements, you really have to test this, but Reels might have cheaper CPMs than Stories or Feed, vice versa. It really depends. I've also seen people utilize agency ad accounts, and then there's also like software where you can artificially increase your quality score or your ranking score within the Facebook page, which is going to overall manipulate your CPMs. I know like people have talked about this on the past in podcasts. You can artificially also inflate or lower your CPMs by increasing comments on a specific ad. Those are ways that Meta is just trying to see, okay, what is the relevancy of this ad to the community, right? If there's more engagement, your ad's gonna get shown to more people with the less cost it takes to get those impressions, right? Regardless, Meta has a dominance within the market to acquire top of funnel brand new customers to fuel bottom line growth for the entirety of a brand. As I covered this already, the average demographic on the platform ranges from 25 to 55 plus year olds, right? Especially if you're in D2C, right? Your majority of your demographic is going to be 35 to 55. 9 times out of 10, you might have maybe 25s as a pocketed audience, but majority of your demographic is going to be the older side, right? No other access channel is going to offer these demographics at CPMs around $10 to $25, realistically, right? If I go on TikTok and if I'm trying to target 55-year-olds, the CPMs are going to be like I've paid in the past $30, $40, $50 in CPMs. Facebook or Meta, as I should say, is just so much more efficient as far as the machine learning platform, because they have Instagram, they have Facebook. That's where the audience is at 9 times out of 10. Now, I say this to say you only need one access channel to be dominant and to generate profitable front end acquisition. So the common value proposition from agency gurus, right? If you work with an agency, they're going to push one single SKU. They're going to go heavy on interest-based targeting. They're going to throw random creatives at the wall, hope it sticks. And then 9 times out of 10, right? Agencies have a business to run. So they're going to outsource to junior media buyers or people they pay overseas just so that they can increase their net profit. And 9 times out of 10, the average churn rate for agencies nowadays is what? 90 days. After every 90 days, they have to sign up for new clients or whatever. So that kind of tells me that the landscape of the market, agencies are trash and they're not going to build the foundations for you long term, right? If you're in the business and you're trying to exit within the next 4 to 5 years, you have to set operations in house so that you can be set up for success. Now, what is the reason why 95% of D2C brands struggle to make Meta profitable? It's not a question of if there are better alternatives to Meta. Like, nothing's going to outcompete Meta. Google is good for retargeting because it's a search platform. TikTok, you might get artificial top of funnel growth, but with TikTok shops, you're acquiring lower tier traffic, right? Because people are so accustomed to buying on discounts, to buying products at like $10, $15, $20. If you try to push a higher AOV bundle, then they're not going to buy from TikTok, realistically speaking. Whereas with Meta, you just have a chokehold on the market, and then you might look into like YouTube ads as well. But areas outside of the funnel leading to failure and net positive cash flow stems from lack of product market fit. Like, the reason why Meta might not work for your brand or for your business is, okay, how long has your business been around? Has it been around for less than 2 years? Well, then ideally you might have a lack of total product market fit. And I say this to say, like, ads is only used to amplify your business. It's simply a tool to get you to reach more individuals. And if you can't generate sales organically, well, then what's to say that ads are going to make or it's going to turn your business profitable, right? Ads should not be the crutch for the reason why your business fails, realistically, right? Because I would argue that if you can't even generate profit organically by just having a killer product in the market, then if you try to rely on ads, you're just going to slowly kill off your business. And I would say this to say, if you don't have that timeline of you've been in business for around, your brand has been around for longer than 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you don't really know if you have product market fit, right? It really comes down to the timeline of how are you generating traffic in general? Can your product generate enough demand to get sales organically? Because personally, for me, the brands that we work with that we've seen crazy results, they have market fit and they have a community tied to their overall product. Their product is just so killer that people genuinely love the product. They recommend it to their friends, and that allows us to scale pretty hard on ads. Now, I say this to say, a product that lacks market fit, when you try to run ads, you're going to see higher CPMs, higher CPCs, overall just more expensive CPAs, right? You're not even breaking even. Now, the portfolio brands under management that we see scale past 2K plus a day in ad spend, they have a strong organic presence that allows them to scale ruthlessly on Meta. So I say this to say, like, exaggerating my point here, but cult-like followings are apparent for guaranteed success. When I say cult-like followings is when you have a community tied to your product, that's going to do more for your business than any ad strategy possible. It's going to do more for your business than any ad spend. I would argue that point. Because when you just have a strong community base, for example, there's brands out there like one of our brands has over 1 million followers on Instagram, and everything they post, engagement. And then when it comes to product releases or new drops or new collections, those people share it with other people. And as a byproduct, like, we can generate 100K in one single day from a brand new release, or even like 200K just from a brand new collection drop, just from the community alone, right? So I say this to say, like, product market fit coupled with a strong community base, that's going to do more for your business than anything you could ever imagine with running any ads. Now, of course, there's some secondary order consequences that lead to the downfall of unprofitability, right? And this is where majority of brands fall, is they don't have market fit or they don't have a community, but also they lack to know numbers. From a unit economic perspective, I mean, investors are willing to throw cash at a project that emulates net positive cash flow on the front end with a strong LTV on the back end. So acquiring first order profit is actually easier than it seems, right? We need our gross margin higher than 75% to hit a 10 to 15% net profit target. And this can be done one or two ways, right? If you have one single SKU, you have really good margins, you have 75% gross margins on one single SKU, then by all means, push that single SKU. But if you don't have those gross margins on your current SKUs, then I would argue that you should combine your hero products, build a bundle, try to get to at least $50, $75 to even $100 AOV, so then you have enough profit on the front end where you're not stressing. Now, the benefits of having a higher AOV is you have more cash flow, or you have more gross margin to now create irresistible offers, right? Because the offer, I would argue, is going to, from somebody that comes across an ad they've never heard about your business before, that offer is going to incentivize somebody to buy off of impulse. The reason why we generate sales, the reason why we run creatives, why we test creatives, the reason why we optimize our landing pages is because we are acquiring top of funnel traffic from our campaign setup, and we want these individuals to buy off of impulse. How do we get somebody to buy off of impulse? You hang a no-brainer offer right in front of their eyes, and that's going to be the temptation for them to buy. Now, the archetypes that align with a no-brainer offer consist of, if you're pushing a 3-bundle SKU, you might do a buy 2, get 1 free. You might do a buy 1, get 1 50% off. You might do buy 1, save $50 off. And then as a byproduct, you couple that with stacking guarantees. So you might offer free shipping, warranty, or even a free gift with purchase. That does more for your business on the front end with a brand new customer who's never heard about your business to at least get them into the ecosystem. You're at 10 to 15% net profit target. So you're profitable. And then as a byproduct, they have more than 3 SKUs to test, a brand new customer. So then the likelihood of them coming back to buy back from your business to test out other products when you have their email, when you retarget these users or hit them on the back end, right? The likelihood of the second order frequency is higher because you're giving somebody more than one product to have an impression on your business. And I would argue 3 products gives somebody a better impression of your business rather than one single SKU or one single product. Now, what it takes to build a moat in D2C. I mean, there's always going to be a competitive advantage when you simply have more cash flow than your competitors because you can bully them on acquiring more digital real estate by increasing ad spend. When you're spending 5 to 10K a day in ad spend and you're in the same demographic as, let's say, other business that's only doing $100 a day in ad spend, you're going to bully them and capture the majority of their demographic. You're going to dominate. You're going to have a monopoly on your ideal customer profile. Now, I say this to say every business is probably not at that stage. So like, what are outside of the funnel competitive advantages that a brand can utilize? Well, trademark and patents on products, that's probably the easiest thing to build a moat around your business. Non-compete NDAs with suppliers. The last thing you want is you have a killer product and then you have somebody else using that same supplier and then they're creating a variation of the product that you have, right? You want to have non-compete NDAs with your suppliers. Realistically, if you're still manufacturing or getting your product from China, maybe it's in your best interest to move manufacturing to Mexico or even the US. Mexico is probably going to offer cheaper margins and it's literally on the border of the US if you're selling to the US market. A lot of people haven't even utilized Mexico as a country to ship product from, and Mexico is going to offer you cheaper margins. It might be a bit more expensive than China, but you don't have to worry about longer shipping times because realistically, Mexico to the U.S. is going to be very, very efficient than getting your product from China overseas. Now, another way to have a competitive advantage is if everybody is outsourcing to ad agencies, somebody that's going to outcompete these ad agencies is the brands that build operations in-house, and you really just need a couple of killers. It's like a team of 5. You have maybe 1 or 2 full-stack media buyers, creative strategist, editor, maybe a creative coordinator, maybe a CRM specialist. That's all you need to build operations in-house. Now, when you have the cash flow to bully your competition, you have enough cash flow to now have lawyers on standby to send cease and desist letters to people that offer Chinese look-alike products. Now, like with brands like Temu, Fashion Nova, and all that, these guys are building a monopoly. They're getting a lot of products similar to what's trending in America. They build them in China, and then they push that out to the market. So when you're able to compete with these other brands, send them cease and desist letters, you have the luxury of your product now into the market. You're controlling. You basically have a monopoly. Now, I say this to say if I'm a brand owner, I'm tired of getting burned by ad agencies. I want to build operations in-house. I want the exact steps to lay the foundations. I want to know how I can do this, right? You can take the information I presented with you today and implement it ASAP, or you can mitigate your risk, hedge your bets with professionals by working with scalevelocity.io. You can book in a call right here, speak directly with me. And if you still have distrust about what I do, you can check out these testimonials on my protocol, actually working with a couple of my founders with brands under management. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.